Welcome to today's live community chat. Today we are going to be answering the question, should you fast every day? And I'm going to take you through a 24-hour cycle and what that means if you are actually putting yourself into a fasting environment chemically and hormonally. So welcome. If you are joining us for the first time, perhaps please take a second if you're joining us on YouTube to hit that subscribe button. That way you will know when I upload new content or we go live here for community chat. And if you are joining us on Facebook, I always ask that you hit that follow button and then make sure that you are set up for notifications as well, so you will be notified. I do my best to make sure that I post the content, a conversation topic the night before, so you'll know when you want to jump in live and get some questions answered. So this is our community conversation time. This is where I bring up a topic that has come up in our community and I open it up for coaching conversation with y'all. So please make sure you use the comment section today. Whether you're joining us live or you're catching this as a rebroadcast, I always go back and make sure that I get your questions answered, or at least say hello to you if you have stopped by. I also like to take a second to introduce myself. My name is Diane Parham. I am the creator of the online course and community, the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman. And this is where we talk about all things intermittent fasting for us as women in today's world as we're going through this aging process. We do host intermittent fasting courses. If you would like to find out more about that, you can look in the description box below, or you can get you can go over to my website to find out more, and that is at fortoday'sagingwoman.com. Okay, so let's get started today on today's conversation. So this is a big question that comes up a lot in just intermittent fasting communities. And it comes up a lot because of things that float around in comment sections, like fasting causes your body to stress out or raises cortisol levels, or are you going to starve if you're in a fasted state? So I wanted to break down a typical 24-hour period for you today to show you how fasting every day in some capacity can really be beneficial to you. And we're going to do it from a typical 24-hour cycle. So we know on average we should be getting about 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I know that could be a plus or minus 1 or 2 hours, but let's just do 7 to 8 hours as an average, right? So that's the time that your body's sleeping. That's when you're at rest. That's when you're doing all your recovery and resetting, and all of the things that you've done throughout the day get a chance to hopefully do their magic while you're in a sleep state. Then we are awake for about 15 to 16 hours out of that 24-hour cycle, depending again on when you sleep. Then we just rinse and repeat this. So when the question comes up, should I fast every day? I always like to be a little rhetorical in my answer and ask, why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't you put your body in a state of rest? Why wouldn't you put your body in a state of recovery? And why wouldn't we give our body an opportunity to just do what it's been designed to do? And that's fix itself from the inside out when it has the time and the resources to do it. And that is probably the biggest benefit that intermittent fasting has to offer for us. So do me a favor, in the comment section below, if you are currently intermittent fasting, let me know how many hours you like to be in a fasted state. If you're not fasting yet, put in the comment section, not fasting, so I'll kind of know where our audience is coming from today, and then we can kind of go from there. So if this is a 24-hour cycle, and this is basically our circadian rhythm, let's talk about what happens in a fasted state by the hour. So at the 12-hour mark, right? So that would be plus or minus a few hours before you go to bed and a few hours after you wake up to start your day to get to the 12-hour mark. We know that insulin is at its lowest point if you in fact stayed fasted for this 12-hour period. So insulin would be at its lowest level. And then if at the 12-hour mark you broke your fast, you're basically starting the whole cycle all over again, right? So you're going to be in a fed state and insulin is produced and your body goes through the energy creation or utilization or storage cycle. So that's the 12-hour mark. That happens when you have a fasting environment, meaning you are in a fasted state. So, but the time you last had an insulin response until the time of your next insulin response, that's 12 hours. So what I recommend is doing nothing but have water. One of the ways that I really take advantage of being in a deep fasted state at that 12-hour mark is when I get done with my dinner, I brush my teeth, I do all my oral hygiene things, and then I take my vitamins or whatever it is I do, and then I allow for that full 12-hour period, right? So that's how you can take advantage of just fasting for 12 hours. But a fast technically starts at that 12-hour mark if you want to create the environment where insulin is at its lowest. There have been studies that have been released with women who are breast cancer survivors. And the study was conducted that at a 13-hour fasted state, so again, a fasting environment, meaning that insulin was at its lowest level, for that extra hour past the 12, there was a significant reduction in breast cancer recurrence for these women. So this is, again, where I always ask the question, okay, if I'm not a breast cancer survivor, I would also like to put myself in an advantageous position to not have to be a breast cancer survivor. And if 13 hours minimum is enough to create an environment for women who have survived breast cancer, not have to battle it again, why wouldn't I fast for at least 13 hours? So there you go, 13 hours of fasting every day. Then we think about the 16-hour mark. So the 16-8 is a protocol that's pretty standard. It's probably the protocol that's most common for people. And so why wouldn't you, right? It's just giving your body that extra little bit of time. So you're going to go 8 hours in a feasted state and 16 hours in a fasted state. So half of your time awake, you're going to feast, right? So 8 hours. You just designate those hours, and that's the time that you're going to allow things to come in your body that are going to create chemical and hormonal changes and create that energy environment for yourself. We also know that around the 17-hour mark, so I'm just going to say 18 because, again, that's a very common protocol you'll hear, 18-6, so 18 hours fasted, 6 hours feasted, is where autophagy really starts to happen. So if autophagy happens around the 17 or 18-hour mark, why wouldn't you want to put your body into this state as often as possible? So we know autophagy is the self-eating environment that we create in a fasted state. So that's where our body goes in and finds things that are problematic for us or to our body in a chemical or hormonal way. And our body feasts on what is problematic. So this is where I want us to think also. Yes, we're in a fasted state, meaning we're not putting anything new into our body that's going to create an insulin response. But if we can get to this state of fasting, we know that our body is going to be very, very well equipped to feast on what's inside, right? So what we've been putting away in storage and or what is causing us problems as we go through this aging process. For a lot of us, it's this hormonal imbalance, mostly our hunger hormones, and a lot of the damage that has just been done cellularly with time and consistency from things that we've done in the past. And that 18-hour mark really does give us the opportunity to undo that by just moving out of the way. Why would we not create that on a daily basis? And then the fasting protocol that I love to teach, and this is what I really teach inside my Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, is a 20-hour fast with a 4-hour feast. This is where most women who are going through this season of hormonal change due to perimenopause, menopause, and then in postmenopause are seeing and feeling the best results because our body chemistry has just changed, right? We don't have as many demands on our life. We don't have as many activities. For a lot of us, we have kids that are grown and moved out, or they're pretty self-sufficient and independent. For some of us, we're in a state of retirement, so we're not going to work every day, or our life demands are just not the same that they were before. And so we can afford to be in a fasted state for a little bit longer, or we might have more in storage or more of that state of autophagy that we really need to take advantage of And we can do that by just extending that fast. And this is where I really like to emphasize the hormonal reset happens in that 20 hours. So if we know all of this magic is happening in a fasted state, why would you not want to take advantage of insulin being at its lowest levels, or a reduction in the chance of breast cancer recurring or popping up ever in your body? What if you could take advantage of just being in a state of rest and letting your body go into storage and feast off what you already have available? Or why wouldn't you want to get into those stages of autophagy consistently over time and allow your body to reverse what's going on inside that maybe hasn't really been identified as a problem yet, and your body can get rid of it before it rises to the surface? And then the place I love to live and what I love to teach for my women going through these hormonal seasons of life that we call menopause, that 20-hour fast is where you get the best opportunity for the hormonal reset, right? Where you're letting that insulin be at bay for 20 hours of your day and then feasting well to support that next fasting environment. Now, I say all of this as an opportunity for you to just think about your day, right? Now, the other thing that I want to say, and why I think so many people get so freaked out about fasting every day, is we think that everything has to be this hard, fast rule. And what I want you to think about is creating an authentic life for yourself. And if you just took advantage of this when you could, and you just took advantage of this when you could, and you just took advantage of this when you could, I like to call this 16-hour fast my vacation fast. So this is what we do when we're on vacation. And then when you can do this, when the opportunity presents itself, what can you do with consistency over time? And why wouldn't you fast every day? The stress that comes from fasting is the stress that we need to create change in our body chemistry and hormonally. The thoughts or the mindset you have around your angst about fasting when you don't understand the benefits of it are what cause the stress that is going to come in the form of a negative stress in your body. The more educated you are about the benefits of fasting, the more confident and comfortable you get in a state that is a fasted state, the less you're going to have the mindset stress or the negative stress, and the more opportunity you're going to have for the healing stress that will occur in your body. So in my opinion, every person, especially us women, should be fasting every day for some length of time. That's going to create a fasting environment so that we can reverse the signs of aging. I don't believe that you have to do anything in a desperate state or in a state that's going to remove you from your life in order to find success with intermittent fasting. That's where the fasting long, feasting well, training smart, and you being authentically you is going to create a lifestyle that you could benefit from for many, many years to come. But you have to understand it up here in order to be able to ease into it as far as how many hours you're going to be in a fasted state. I can also tell you this, and I can say this with great confidence because we've had now, I think, almost 8,000 women graduate from our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. We have a new set of graduates in our community today. They just graduated this weekend from our August 2021 Intermittent Fasting class. That this right here, this 2 hours is where the magic happens, going from the 18 to the 20-hour mark, because you just have 2 more hours from this chemical state in your body here. This is a mental block. Going from really tapping into the beginning stages of autophagy and the power and the magic that happens at that 20-hour mark is something you have going on in here. And once you get past that, this is where most women are finding the best results in this 20-hour place. So if you're feeling like you're battling your mind about intermittent fasting and you feeling conflicted about so-and-so saying this and so-and-so saying that, but you really think that you're in a place where you could reap the benefits from fasting in some way, shape, or form every day, and you haven't taken our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course yet, I highly recommend you jump into our next course. It starts on Saturday, September 4th. I teach you all of this in class, and I help you find comfort in a fasted state so that you can, in fact, fast every single day and take advantage of any one of these environments that happens when you create that fasting environment for yourself. I hope this answers your question. If you have the question about should you fast every day, when I think about what the alternative is and what most people do in a fed state, it really does behoove us to just understand how our hours are made up in a day. And if we just take advantage of starting that fast as soon as we're done with dinner, hopefully you're enjoying that with the people that you love, and you postpone changing the chemical and hormonal state in your body for a few hours into your morning, you will reap some pretty amazing benefits, and you will be so grateful that you were able to take advantage of what a fasting environment brings to you. Okay, so here's where I open up the floor for conversation and for me to live coach you here and answer your questions. So if you haven't done so yet, put a comment in the comment section and I will make sure that I get it answered for you, whether you're here live or you're on the rebroadcast, so you are seen and heard today here in our community. Denise, 18 to 20 hours. Awesome. Girlfriend, you're taking advantage of this right here. That's where I say that's where the magic happens for sure. Jocelyn, 18 to 20 hour fast. Awesome. Christy, 16 to 20. That's awesome as well. I think it's Ilka, not fasting. Girlfriend, why aren't you fasting? Think about this today. And I want you to take out this is what I always say to my course members as well. Take out your planner. Look at your day. Where can you take advantage of having extra time, extra resources, and extra energy? Because those are the three benefits we also get from intermittent fasting. Where can you plug that in your day if you were to just map out 24 hours? Block out when you're sleeping, block out when you have your last meal, block out your day and how your day goes with whatever it is you have on your calendar, and see if you can plug in a fasting window that will allow you to have the opportunity to take advantage of the extra time, the extra resources, and the extra energy you're going to have once you get into that fat adapted state. Jimmy ZC, I'm carnivore since January 2020 and I weighed 547 pounds, now 385. I'm 1 meal a day, lunch to lunch. I started fasting 36 to 46 hours, 3 days a week. My sugar levels and weight is down. My question is there a need to fast longer? I don't know. It sounds like what you're doing is working for you. So I say rinse and repeat until it stops working, and then maybe change some things up. But it sounds like you're making great strides. So congratulations on that for sure. Eloise, good morning. You know what? I forget that I can put your guys' comments on here. There you go. Now you guys can read it too. Good morning, Diane. Most days 20 hours, but 16 hours during family planned events, but mostly 20 hours. Yeah. So that's the beauty of intermittent fasting and the flexibility that we get to incorporate when we do it around us living our most authentic life. There's nothing worse than feeling like we have to completely overhaul our life to try to meet someone else's recommendation for what they think we should be doing, and they know nothing about us. So Eloise, it sounds like you are creating your most authentic life, and you're giving yourself that permission that you need to also enjoy what it is you enjoy with the people that you love the most, and that's where you're going to garner the most success. So I'm super excited for you and super proud of you for sure. Sandra, I fast 20 hours, the sweet spot for me. Yes, we call that the sweet spot for sure, because that is where you are getting the biggest benefit from that insulin being at bay, right? Because one of the biggest problems for us women when we're going through these hormonal changes through menopause is that our insulin levels are the hormone, or the insulin hormone is the one that seems to be most out of whack, which is why we end up insulin resistant, pre-diabetic, or diabetic, and we have so much cognitive decline, right? And it is because our insulin is so off balance, because our other hormones are also adjusting. So this is where so many women are really benefiting from intermittent fasting as a hormonal reset, because we are controlling what is going on with our insulin, and we're also allowing an opportunity for the tanks to drain, right? Because we're relieving a lot of that backup that's causing a lot of those diabetic states as well. So Sandra, super excited for you. VB, can I do a 12-12 and still get the same weight and health benefits as a 16-8? This all depends on where you're starting from, hormonally and chemically. So we know that weight loss does not occur when your body is not in a state of hormonal balance. So if you're suffering from a weight stall, and no matter what you're doing, exercise or nutritionally, you're not seeing any changes, then I would highly recommend going deeper into that fast. And 16 might not even be enough. You might need to go to the 18 or 20 for a little while just to kind of kickstart this hormone right here being relieved as far as backup so that you can actually get to that weight loss state that you're hoping for. Nadia, does black coffee break the fast? For most people, black coffee does not break a fast, but again, it's one of those personal things that you're going to have to experiment with yourself. Black coffee is actually one of those tools that we use here in this community to help you get through the hunger phases, especially initially when you're fasting, because coffee does act as an appetite suppressant. It's also a thermogenic, so it helps your body chemistry kind of heat up, and it also has so many great, polyphenols and all the things that we need. So it can actually be used as a tool for most people. If you feel like you're drinking black coffee and you're not getting the results that you were hoping for, I always recommend testing without it and see if something changes, because for some people, coffee does create an insulin response, but for the majority of people, it doesn't. So it all just depends on how you metabolize it. It's worth a test for sure. And then Carrie, does water with apple cider vinegar break a fast, or lemon water? Okay. So again, this is one of those things. If you really want to benefit from this sweet spot or this hormonal reset or stages of autophagy, I always say never risk losing this right here, this season of healing right here, for apple cider vinegar or lemon water. I know a lot of people recommend apple cider vinegar and lemon water to start your digestive system or whatever they're doing for gut health, but an empty gut is also a great opportunity for your gut to heal itself. So I always recommend doing nothing and then seeing what the results are when you take apple cider vinegar and lemon water out. Then do a test where you put it back in and then measure those results, and then you decide for your own body chemistry if it's giving you the results that you're hoping for. Most women that I recommend they cut it out see and feel a significant improvement in what their results are in these fasted states, because they're just having this amount of time where insulin has not been triggered at all for a longer period of time. And unless you're testing your blood sugar, you won't know if you're creating an insulin response. So why do we want our digestive system to be ignited first thing in the morning? We want it to be at rest and let it do its own thing. So I always say skip it for sure. And it's just one less thing you have to worry about in the morning when you're starting to get out and start your day. Teresa, I like to fast for 3 days. How safe and how often can I do it? I'm a vegan. Again, that's that thing that you have to decide for yourself. I am not a multiple day faster. I have been fasting 24 hours with a 4-hour feast pretty consistently for the last 5 or 6 years. On occasion, I have done like a 36-hour fast, or I'll do a 22-hour fast. I kind of just let the day decide it, but I love food and I love having dinner and celebrating the day with my family around a feast. So multiple day fasting for me is not something I enjoy. I always say it's one of those things that's very personal. So if you thrive in a 3-day fast, I say then take advantage of it, because that is going to be the place where you're going to get the deepest levels of autophagy and cellular healing and DNA turnover and all of the proof that occurs in that state. And then being a vegan, in my opinion, doesn't really matter as far as doing a 3-day fast. That's just a choice that you're making as far as what you're going to let in your feasting window. And if you're thriving in that state, then that's working for you also. So play with it and see how, maybe some of these windows do for you, and then do a 3-day fast and then see if that's where you thrive. If you're feeling angst and stress and preoccupied in a multiple day water fast, that's where I believe a lot of the negative mental stress comes into this fasting conversation, where people say fasting is bad. So intermittent fasting within a 24-hour cycle consistently over time, allowing mostly these phases to happen hormonally and chemically in your body, is enough to really create what most of us want here, and that's reversing the signs of aging and a lot of the hormonal balance that happens in menopause. Dawn, I think you wanted to say MCT oil powder in my coffee break my fast. If it's a pure fat, meaning there's no carbohydrates and there's no protein, then usually putting that into coffee can enhance your body getting into that fat adapted state. So again, it's always very personal, Dawn. I would say test with it, test without it, and see where you are getting the results that you're hoping for, because we're all really looking for different end results with our fasting, or we're looking for different lifestyle enhancements. So figure out what it is you say you really want from your fasting lifestyle, and then see if the MCT oil enhances that, or see if you feel like that might be stalling it, and then that's the best way to get your answer for sure. And then Mary, been fasting and exercising for 18 hours for 2 weeks. Goofy question. Does sugar-free gum mess up the fast? It absolutely does. Just because you are creating that environment in your mouth that is triggering that digestive response, right? So you're putting something in your mouth that has flavor. It also has some ingredients that are going to trigger a signal to your brain that food is imminent, and it's going to start the digestive process, and that creates a chemical and hormonal change. So again, I recommend that if you really want to stay clean fasted, that you skip all of those things and just have your water and then black coffee or tea, or any tea that doesn't have any flavoring, and then see how that works for you as well. But yeah, sugar-free gum does break up the fast. If your goal is maybe just getting into ketosis and you've tested that and that doesn't break that up, or your workout is getting you back into that fasting environment, meaning your glucose is low, you're producing ketones, and you're getting the results you're hoping for with maybe physique changes or weight loss or fat loss and those kind of things, then that's the fasting environment that you're creating, and you're getting the result that you say that you really want. Then I would say on the days that maybe you're not working out, fast a little longer, keep it super clean, ditch the gum, and then take advantage of what this can do for you on a non-workout day. And that's a way you can kind of swing back and forth as well. And then Treva, IF graduate from July 2021. Congratulations, my graduate. Still doing 16 to 20 hours most days, but I feel better at 20. I'm committed to IF as a lifestyle. Yeah, for sure, Treva. And that's the beauty of being a graduate of the class, right? Is you understand the authenticity that you can create for yourself with this lifestyle, so you don't feel like you have to jump in and out. And that's what I really love to teach the most, is give yourself permission to ease into what works for you. And yes, the 20-hour fast, believe it or not, is the one where you are going to feel your best. And it's just because we have created this environment where we don't have those chemical shifts. And so we have that even keel hormonal feeling throughout our day. And there's nothing like the energized sense of calm. Hopefully you're feeling that as well. Jimmy ZC, is there a set amount of protein one should be eating when your fasting ends? So protein is the big mystery. Depending on who you're taking your advice from, will tell you what you should be putting as far as your macrograms in your day with your protein. I am of the camp that you have to, again, experiment. I always consume much lower than what most people recommend, and I feel fantastic. My fitness performance is exceptional. I'm doing great at a 55-year-old woman, and my physique is where I need it to be, as long as my feasting is on track and my fasting's on track. So I'm on the lower end of protein. You'll have to play with a set amount of macro guidelines, and then ebb and flow your way till you find what works best for you. Most people are over proteining their body. So they're taking in too much protein, and that could be one of those stalling areas as well. So again, you got to play with that for sure, or get with someone who can help you figure out what your macro intake should be for the day. Carrie, thank you. Love listening to you. I need to just do it already. Carrie, you need to just do it already. There's no bigger pain place than the place of indecision, right? So either yes, you're going to do it, or make the firm decision that you're not. But that wavering or sitting on the fence part can be agonizing for so many of us. So I say just do it. There's only going to be great benefits, and you're going to have some great aha moments and learn so much about your body and feel super empowered about decisions you make moving forward. So I say just do it already. We would love to have you. Lynette, hi, what's the best way in terms of food to break a 20-hour fast for hormonal reset? Again, that all just depends on what it is you're striving for as your end result, or what it is you say you really want, is the way I like to say it here in this community. I break my fast with some sort of liquid supplement. So I either have a meal replacement type of shake, which is vegan, and I load it up with a bunch of fat, or I'll have, I have been also adding in a collagen support and gut and brain health supplement to break my fast, because my body is ready to take in nutrients. So I say, whatever you do to break your fast, make sure it's very nutrient dense, because your body's in a prime place to take in, soak up, and put to use all of those nutrients. And if you keep your protein on the lower side, you can still take advantage of those stages of autophagy, even when you break your fast, by just keeping that protein down. Protein does halt completely those autophagy level benefits. So keep that in mind when you're breaking your fast. Also, let's see. Jimmy, hi Diane, is there an amount of protein? I already did that one. Thank you, 54, and love that answer. Awesome. Play with your protein recommendations and find what works for you. Go up and down, and then see where not only are you getting the best results, but are you chasing protein down? Is that stressing you out? What are you spending financially on supplementing protein? And does that make sense for you? All of those things are considerations, because again, it all matters how we feel and think about the decisions that we're making. And if it doesn't feel authentic to you, then it's probably not authentic to you. Elizabeth, 23-1 for 15 months now, intend to continue forever. Thank you for all your focus on mindset. It really helps me. Elizabeth, that is fantastic. And yes, there's a whole community of people who practice a 1 meal a day, or like a 1 hour feasting window, and they are thriving. Remember, it all depends on the lifestyle that you're creating for yourself, and does it feel authentic to you, and what is your body telling you about what it is you're deciding for it. If everything is working for you, don't let anybody tell you that that's not working for you. And Elizabeth, it sounds like that's working for you, and I'm super proud of you. And yes, continue doing that for as long as you are seeing and feeling the benefits, for sure. Vidya, hi, you are doing a great job, and I'm doing 16-8 every day and feeling great, trying to do more than 16 to lose the weight, but I'm getting a lot of hot flashes going through menopause. Vidya, if you haven't joined my intermittent fasting course, I highly recommend you get into the one that's starting next weekend. I teach you all about this and help you get through those pesky signs and signals of menopause, which are those hot flashes. We're not supposed to get hot flashes. So once your hormones balance out, which is why this is what we teach right here, then those hot flashes will go away. Usually they're a response to a nutritional intolerance that you haven't identified yet. And that's triggered by the hormonal changes that are going on. So I highly recommend jumping in the class. The information is in the description box below, or go to fortoday'sagingwoman.com. You can sign up there or get on my email list for sure. Tanya, I have hypothyroidism and my weight is stuck. Nothing has worked so far. I worked my way slowly up to 18.6, fasting over 4 months, but no weight loss yet. Sounds like I should try the 24 to get unstuck. I highly recommend doing the 24. This right here, this little gap of 2 hours right here is money in the bank. Like, it is magic when you can get to that 20-hour mark. And then when you get to the 20-hour mark, what happens when your body really becomes fat adaptive and comfortable in this state right here? You won't even think about it, and you'll look down and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been fasting for 20 hours. I feel on top of the world, right? And that's the place I like you all to be, is on top of the world when you break this mental block about your fear of being absent of food. And I love to teach you the mindset of food. The absence of food and being empty and with your body is the most empowered state a woman can be, especially in this phase of life when we're feeling so unsure of ourselves because of all of the changes that are going on. There is nothing more powerful than an empowered woman who is not using food as a means to get herself through the day, but you're using your own clarity, mental focus, internal energy to get you through the day. There is nothing more attractive and nothing more empowering than that feeling for a woman. And I want you guys to all feel that for sure. Okay, so let's see. Where did I stop? Tanya, I think it was. Teresa, thank you so much for the great information. May the Lord bless you. Girlfriend, thank you so much. And right back at you. Vijay, my night snack is popcorn made with coconut oil, but I'm trying to cut that out. But it is so difficult. Oh gosh, will it cause me to slow down weight loss? Yeah, probably. If you're feeling like you're stuck, then it's always that little pesky thing before you go to bed. That's the want in the moment, but not what you really want. So if you really want the hot flashes to go away and you really want the weight to start to come off, then you have to take the just simple wants away and really focus on what you really want. Again, I teach that in class. Teresa, thank you so much for the great information. Oh, I already did that one. Carrie, let's see. What vegan shake and collagen do you use to break your fast? It's all included in the description box of this video and every video. And there's also a little how I make my shake at fortoday'sagingwoman.com/blog. You can find a little video on how I make my shake there. Or always feel free to email me. I can get you the information there as well. Tanya, you're welcome. Susan, I've been on many holidays in August. I'm looking forward to returning to 20 hours fasting in September. Yeah, girlfriend, the best way to create that vacation end is to jump right back into 20 hours. So a lot of times what happens with vacation is we enjoy ourselves on vacation and then we don't create the exit plan and how to get back to what we know really serves us so we can get the results that we really want. So I always say enjoy vacation, create your exit strategy, and go right back to that 20-hour fast. And girlfriend, you will bounce back for sure. Carrie, you are welcome. Okay, so great comments today. Great opportunity for me to give you guys some community coaching. You know, that's what I absolutely love. Remember, if you are looking to get into a course with us, we have our next one starting on September 4th. Here is the information at the bottom of the screen of where to go, or you can click the description box. Get off the fence, right? Either no, I'm not going to do this lifestyle and move on knowing that there might be something better for you out there, or fully commit and go all in. Fasting doesn't mean that you don't eat. Fasting doesn't mean that you don't enjoy the things that you enjoy. I teach you in class how to have all the things that bring joy to you in the way of food choices and celebrating and customs that you have with your family, and really being present in social events around food and still taking advantage of the opportunity of, yes, in fact, putting yourself in a fasting environment every single day. This will be loaded on my YouTube channel, so if you feel like you need to come back and rewatch it, please feel free to do so. If you have any questions about the course that's coming up and if it might be a good fit for you or not, please reach out to me. Don't be frustrated in silence. Don't suffer in silence. I am here to help you and guide you. And if it's not a good fit for you, I'm always very honest and will direct you in another place if I don't think this is a great time for you, or it might not be a good fit for you. But if you feel like you're ready, I would love to have you in. I go through the class with you. I'm there for the full 30 days. I answer questions just like I did here today, and really give you a no nonsense approach to how it is you as an aging woman in today's world, with all the crazy information that's thrown at us, can really simplify a lifestyle so you can reap all the benefits, so you can fast long, feast well, train smart, be authentically you, and reap all these amazing benefits. Because I believe every woman should have the opportunity to wake up every single day, put her 2 feet on the ground, and look and feel her best, and do that in her most authentic way. I love you guys. I will see you back here on Thursday. Carmen, oh, that's a great comment. Thank you so much. I highly recommend Diane's course. She has an amazing story. And she also has an amazing YouTube channel, so check her name out. She does great sewing tutorials on her YouTube channel, and she has a great weight loss story thanks to the work that she has done and the authentic life that she has created for herself as a graduate of our intermittent fasting course as well. So Carmen, I always love you having her in our community. I'll see you guys back here on Thursday, or you can catch me on Instagram Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do the same type of coaching over there as well. If you need me, I'm here for you. Have a blessed day.